No, you need to try and figure out how to do it.
What? With the carving?
Yes.
Well, if you, for me, the carving always works.
What lovely colours you're wearing.
That's not what we
Yes.
You're speaking with me? To me? I am!
Yes. Are you going to Finland?
Is it? Yeah.
You were in Finland. How did you travel? Think what you're doing.
Hello, testing. Okay. Now it should work.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so in an emergency.
that's better.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're going to wear this?
No, only for the story. I really don't like that. Every
don't?
time you move, it goes really loud, and I touch my hair. I don't get on with microphones.
So
but
I'm
this
going to
was
use
just
this one because I'm here, only
Yeah.
standing here.
Yes.
And it's coming up. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Stefan.
Cool.
Are you the sound
Yeah.
lady? What's your name?
Sophie.
Sophie?
Yeah.
Okay. You're setting everything up for the sound of the stream?
Yeah. So I turned this one off now and I'll turn it back on. I just don't want it to run out of battery and
Okay.
run out.
Very good.
Our voice is booming out through the whole chapel.
Hello and good morning, everyone, here in this beautiful church and also louder. Okay. How is that? Better? Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome in this beautiful church, and also if you're watching at home. At Rosslyn Hill Chapel, a spiritual home for open minds. My name is Stefan Hein. I'm a board member as a trustee and a worship assistant today for this Unitarian service. Whoever you are and however you are this morning, there is a space for you here. Whatever your race, gender, sexuality, class, age, physical and mental capacity, we welcome you in the spirit of love. We have small candles of joys and concerns which you are invited to light during the service. Bright lights activities for children are on hold during August, but there are resources available today at the back of the chapel if that is needed. We have a small library of books to borrow from, with a signing book available. We have 2 further activities today to offer you. At 6 p.m. this evening, there is mindfulness meditation, and at 7 p.m., our Sunday evening gathering is mantra and meditation, an event led by Stefan Hein. Oh, I think that's me. Yes, I would like to, with warm heart, invite you to this mantra event tonight, which is an introduction through community singing of ancient healing mantras from India. The mystery that we can experience within ourselves in a relaxed state of consciousness when we chant these Indian mantras. So this will be a continuation of the journey that we are taking this morning here. The collection will be taken during the offertory music at the end, and you can donate by cash or by card. This month's good cause is WizKids. The collection is shared between the upkeep of the chapel and the month's chosen charity. We welcome today our guest worship leader, Lindsay Stevens. Hello, Lindsay. Lovely to have you here today. It's really good to meet you again. We light the flame as a symbol of our liberal religious faith. Brian Lee writes, "We light our chalice as a symbol of the light within us and the life that flows through the world around us. It is our beacon as we search for truth. It is the warmth in our hearts for love. And it is the energy that propels us to action. May we be kindled by our time together." It's over to you, Lindsay.
Thanks, Stefan. As we've already lit the chalice, I'll just light a piece of candle. So we light this candle for peace, as has become your custom, I think, here, for all the suffering and troubled places in the world. Yeah, may there be peace. So our opening words this morning are from Mary Oliver, and she says, It is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in this broken world. And I'd just like to say hello to you all, and it's so lovely to be here with you on this beautiful, beautiful sunny morning in your beautiful, beautiful chapel. And as anybody who hasn't met me, as Stefan says, my name's Lindsay, and I'm a One Spirit interfaith minister, and a long, long, long time Unitarian friend now. And I feel very honoured to have been invited to be here with you today by Kate to hold this morning's gathering space. And tying in rather loosely with your theme of journeys, against the backdrop of continuing heartbreaking, grave and frightening world events, I've woven various threads together, including the importance of journeying towards a balance of joy and grief, joy and hope, alongside everything else which we are feeling and witnessing. And my prayer for this morning is that we all find space to listen to ourselves, to receive some comfort and hope as we spend this precious time together in this beloved community. So our chalice is already lit, and the peace candle. Thank you. So let's join our voices now in our first hymn, Spirit of Earth, Root, Stone and Tree, 147. It's one of my favourite hymns. I hope you love it too. So I think it's the custom for the pianist to play the whole thing through so that we get the tune, and then we'll begin singing. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everybody. That was lovely. So, I'm under strict instructions to still tell the story, even if there are no children, and I was kind of hoping for a get out, but we haven't got children, but there's still a very brief story. And it's adapted from The Star Thrower by Lauren Aisley. And although I've shared this here before, I was called to share it again. It kind of wouldn't leave me alone. And I think it's just because it's such a simple story of small acts having a big effect. And it really speaks of love in action. So, it all started when one day a young girl was walking along the beach and she found thousands of starfish which had been washed up during a terrible storm. She felt sad to see them all lying there and knew that they'd die if they couldn't get back to the water. So she began to walk along the beach, and each time she came to a starfish, she'd pick it up and throw it back into the sea. She'd been doing this for some time when a boy approached her and said, "You're wasting your time. You can't save all these starfish. You can't even begin to make a difference." The little girl replied as she bent down and picked up another starfish and hurled it as far as she could into the sea. "I made a difference to that one." The little boy smiled and joined her, and they walked together, picking up the starfish and throwing them back into the sea. They smiled and laughed together and felt such joy at saving these starfish. And as they walked along, more and more children and their parents joined in, and sometimes even their grandparents joined in. And the circle of friends saving the starfish grew bigger and bigger. And they all felt more and more joyful as they threw more and more starfish back into the water and saved their lives. And that night, they all went to sleep, feeling a lovely warm feeling in their hearts. They'd made new friends and saved the lives of lots and lots of starfish, who no doubt in their own starfish way felt very grateful. And it made them happy to have saved the starfish and so joyful to have made new friends. And this story kind of reminds me of something that I think Mother Teresa once said, that most of us will not do great things, but we will do small things with great love. And I feel that story really illustrates that. So I invite Stefan now to come and share our first reading.
I'm going to read a poem by Angell, dear. What's breaking in the world right now are the disconnected machines we were never meant to trust. Humans were made for the village, for the small circle, for the land we can walk barefoot, for the people we know by name, for relationships where we are known, not followed, not marketed to, but truly seen in all our raw, messy authenticity. Maybe that's why all over the world people are quietly gathering again, around fires, in community gardens, at farmers' markets, in circles under ancient trees. In prayer, in song, in silence. I see it in so many spaces. The conversations where greater vulnerability emerges, where raw honesty breaks through the surface, where performances drop and something real begins to breathe again. I see it when people gather not to be given answers, but to meet the living mystery inside themselves. Small gatherings where wisdom is shared hand to hand, breath to breath, where grief is witnessed, where joy is not performed but lived, where no algorithms decides who gets to be heard and what needs to be seen. It may not make headlines, but I genuinely believe and feel in my bones this is how the world is being woven back together. Big systems are breaking, but the village is remembering.
Thanks, Stefan. And I'll share our second reading, which is from Mary Oliver. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give in to it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not very often kind, and much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back, that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. It could be anything, but very likely you notice it in that instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not meant to be a crumb. Thank you. So we'll join our voices again now in our second hymn, Love Will Guide Us. Thank you, everybody. Our love will change the world. So I invite you now into a time of stillness and prayer. We come together in fellowship with our hearts by moment full of joy, by moment full of concern. Did everybody catch that? Thank you. Yeah, with our hearts by moment full of joy and full of concern by moment, and also by moment feeling broken. So if you're holding somebody a place, or people in your heart this morning, I invite you to name them now aloud in the stillness in the coming moments, so that we may also hold them in our hearts. And you're invited to include yourselves in this. We so rarely pray for ourselves. Thank you. Spirit of life and love, God of our hearts, we offer gratitude for those things and people who bring us joy. And we pray for the safekeeping of those for whom we are concerned. May all those names and places, spoken and unspoken, be and feel surrounded by the loving kindness that we hold them in today. And may there be healing for them all and for us all. So may it be, and so it is. Thank you. So, as Mary Oliver says, it is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh and morning in this broken world. And it is indeed a broken world, isn't it? I've heard so many friends and colleagues say how they can often feel guilty enjoying life against the backdrop of the profound suffering and horror we've been witnessing and feel powerless to change. And I imagine that many of, or all of you, by moment feel similarly. So I hope this morning's service will resonate with you and hold you in some way. And one of the threads that I've woven into this service is how deeply important it is to journey towards resilience at times like these. And an important part of that is to feel and express our joy. As Mary Oliver says, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not meant to be a crumb. Against the backdrop of myriad and widespread cruelty and inhumanity and hardship in the world, how do we allow ourselves to feel joy rather than falling into complete despair? It's a deeply challenging one for many of us, I expect. Some of us may indeed have had times when we've fallen into despair. I know that I have. However, we need to be able to feel the grief and the anger and do what we can to help, which is so important on many levels. And at the same time, stay anchored in our lives and allow ourselves to experience joy and beauty, to counterbalance even just a little bit of our overwhelm, grief, and whatever else we're feeling, which is challenging. We live in an increasingly overwhelming world, yet we may feel deep down the power of hope and love to heal. And together perhaps we can weave threads of that hope into a really strong fabric of something more tangible, uplifting, life-giving, and safe feeling for all beings. I think I've confessed here before that I spend time on Facebook most days, and sometimes a little too much time. Though there I see so many posts of loving care for humanity, animals, plants, and these really feed my soul and offer me hope at a time which can feel devastatingly hopeless. Around the world, many are gathering in wisdom and love and deep solidarity with those experiencing war and unimaginable oppression. And people are embodying the loving world that we long to live in. And Valerie Kaur is someone who springs to my mind. And she says, out of grieving together, we begin to weave threads of care and protection around each other. And this is what I call deep solidarity. And that is the kind of movement we are building now. A movement of revolutionary love. You may have come across Valerie Kaur and her very moving journey towards forgiveness and her profound work. She speaks of reclaiming love as a force for justice, healing, and transformation. And so many others have also spoken of it over the ages. A revolution of love. Teilhard de Chardin wrote, all we need is to imagine our ability to love developing until it embraces the totality of humankind and the earth. He believed that the thrust toward union and peace is coded into the very fabric of the cosmos. And I love these hopeful words of activist and writer Arundhati Roy. Another world, I can't even say it without crying. Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. She is on her way. And I recently received these words in an email from a woman called Azul Tomei. You may have heard of her as well. She's a grief tender and earth activist. And she wrote, in these past days, I've been composting all the horror. Not all, how could I? The grief and rupture we have witnessed in the marrow of this world. I placed it all within me, not to carry as burden, but to transform. My heart and belly became a compost heap, sacred and alive, where pain breaks down into the soil of becoming. From that fertile decay, I felt that even in collapse, there is choreography, even in ruin, a rhythm. I have faith in life, in creation's deep intelligence. Makes me think of the Buddhist practice of Tonglen. How do we journey towards faith and even begin to compost all the suffering? Of course, I don't have the answers, though it feels to me that one of the important threads is becoming present to how we feel, deep in our hearts, and not running away from pain. And then a second thread, maybe, and it will be different for each of us, but maybe prayer, doing something practical to help. Simply spending time with a loved one to uplift mutually, helping somebody out, connecting with nature. And it may be to do what we're doing here this morning and what you do here in this community. Meeting in our village for communion, for healing, for prayer, encouragement and support, and ideas for action. As in our first reading, small gatherings where wisdom is shared hand to hand, breath to breath, where grief is witnessed. This is how the world can be and is being woven back together. It is how we journey towards healing and a more loving world. And I really understand that we may feel that what we do in our small circles and in our own lives can feel like a mere drop in the ocean in the face of such deep trauma, horror and devastation. Though as both our story earlier and quantum physics understand that these small forces join together and form a way more than the sum of their parts. Dr. David Hawkins, who was an American philosopher and scientist, said that one individual who vibrates to the energy of love will counterbalance the negativity of 750,000 who do not. I've heard and read similar things many times, and many people, including scientists, are saying that we are reaching critical mass where there are enough of us sending out love, compassion, and sharing our goodness that we are beginning to turn the world around. I'm sure that some of us find that hard to believe, and yet we believe it with all our hearts. In so many ways it makes sense. And talking of heart, the Institute of Heart Math in the States has done a lot of research into how we affect one another and spread heart coherence. And this isn't fluffy stuff. This is based in science. So expressing our joy, our inherent goodness, our love, living our kindness, our compassion, friendship, and community spirit in our everyday lives really does ripple out and affect the world farther than we can probably ever imagine. So what if all that we do to uplift and strengthen ourselves and each other, like our gathering in worship, our prayers, our celebrations, our reaching out to our local communities and further afield, our joining in solidarity, our expressing beauty, tending to what brings and affirms life when life feels fragile? What if this not only helps to resource us, but helps our collective human journey towards love and healing? Our solidarity is building strength. So let's keep our hearts open in the belief in the power of love and goodness, and in the possibility of repairing what seems devastatingly irreparable. The world needs more kindness, so let's keep being kind. We humans, when we're emotionally healthy, have a deep instinct to care for one another. Empathy is a social instinct. Let's remind ourselves and each other as consistently as we can of what's good, true, beautiful, and life-giving around us and within us, so that we can really keep hope and joy alive in us, and in so doing begin to affect others further away, as well as resourcing ourselves for action in whatever way it calls us. We need to make space for our grief, our rage, our fear, though somehow not allow these feelings to overwhelm or eclipse our feelings of happiness and joy. They need to live side by side with us, within us, and tended in equal measure, so that we can journey towards resilience, balance, and healing. May we all know that nurturing joy and beauty is not frivolous or denial. We need to keep planting seeds for a future we can't yet see, and which may seem and feel impossible. We still need to do it. And it likely feels important to each of us here that we not turn our back on the world's suffering, and we must not. Though we must not feel guilty for the safe or joyful aspects of our own lives, nor take them for granted, which I'm sure we do not. Positive emotions build our inner strength, and we will need all our inner resources to live and to offer our personal service to the world in whatever way that is for us in the times to come. So thank you. Thank you for being who you are in the world. So Jen will now play for us, and you can either sit and reflect and just let the music wash over you, or you can come and light a candle here for anything that you wish to light a candle for. Thank you, Jen, and thank you everybody for your candles. Thank you. So let's just take a short while now in some guided meditation. And I invite you to sit comfortably, preferably with both feet on the ground. And eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. If not, just lower them. And just become aware of your breathing for a moment. Your in-breath and your out-breath. Gently, without changing anything. And just notice how your heart's feeling right now. And you may wish to place one or both hands tenderly over your heart as you breathe gently. And then imagine yourself in a place in nature where you feel safe, warm and peaceful. And find a place to sit down or lie down comfortably. And take in your environment in all its detail, or as much detail as you can. The sounds, the smells, the colors of the landscape. And you feel supported by the earth beneath you. And from this place, ask yourself internally, what do you most need to feel rested and strengthened and peaceful? Which activities do you love? Which people, animals, landscapes, or places help to soothe you? Is there something that you can do more of to relax your nervous system? And try to receive anything that comes without judgment. And if nothing comes, the invitation is also to receive that without judgment. And lastly, is there something that you're called to offer somebody in your life, in your community or the wider world? It can be something small, which may not feel like much or enough, but it will help. It will help our collective strengthening. Again, try not to judge what comes, just receive it gently. Now again, connect with your breath, your in-breath and your out-breath. And feel your body supported by your chair in this chapel and the carpeted floor beneath you. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you. So we'll now sing together our final hymn, number 102, May the Road Rise With You. And after Jen's played it once through, so we get the tune in case we don't know it, we'll sing it twice through, once for each other here, and once for all beings everywhere. Thank you. Thanks, Jen. Please be seated. Thank you. So I use these words also from Mary Oliver as a closing blessing. It is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in this broken world. But I also say this, that light is an invitation to happiness, and that happiness, when it's done right, is a kind of holiness, palpable and redemptive. So may it be. So may you all go in peace, journeying wherever life takes you, with the summer's vitality supporting your body and uplifting your spirits. May we all feel a sense of belonging and find a way to act, to grieve, pray, love, and keep reaching towards life in active hope, in the knowledge that our joy and happiness, along with our action, are needed. And thank you all for coming this morning. It's been really lovely to be with you all. And thank you to Jen for the wonderful music. And Jen stepped in very last minute. So yeah, thank you, Jen. Give a round of applause. Thank you. And I thank Stefan as my worship assistant. And I thank Roger for greeting. And I thank Reverend Kate for inviting me here today. And I thank whoever has put the flowers out to beautify or further beautify this chapel. And I think Chris is making our refreshments, so thanks to him as well. And everybody who works behind the scenes to make the work of this chapel possible. So I think during the closing music, the collection, is that right? Yeah. So we'll have our closing music now. Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful music. Thank you for our guest musician, Jennifer. Thank you for coming today. And I also want, from my side, extend a thank you, warm-hearted thank you to our guest speaker today, Lindsay. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Twickenham. And I'd like to really also acknowledge you for the inspiring words that you have shared with us today. That for me were kind of important signposting on this path of life where sometimes we might not know how to move forward with all the hustle and bustle and the concerns that we have. And may all that revelation that is possible through love that you mentioned, may that come to all of us. So that's been very important, this message. Thank you. Refreshments are in the side aisle. Please come for a chat and for hot tea. And also, if you're watching online, I think there's a virtual tea chat also possible on a link on your YouTube channel stream. Okay. Thank you again for coming.